In the shadow of decay I rise, typhus the herald beneath poison skies. With nervous rods I lay rust to waste, the reaper's scythe no life can escape. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, convulsion grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Vessels walk with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Desolate walks with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. The Imperium's light crumbles to dust. Wherever I tread, rot consumes the just. Space hulks reek of a foul rebirth, carriers of plague across the cursed earth. Beneath the flies, beneath the filth I spread the plague with a twisted will. From festering wounds, corruption grows in the heart of death, God where despair flows. I am the harbinger, the bringer of disease. In Nurgle's name I spread death with ease. Desolate walks with me hand in hand, rivers of filth drown the land. I am typhus, master of decay. In the name of ruin I claim the day. Language howl, the gasping walls, vigilant tides, new life is born. Nurgle's passing, a twisted place. I embrace your heart in my cold embrace. Fear the plague fleet, fear the end. No salvation, no let to defend. I am typhus, reaper of dread. Bow to Nurgle, embrace the dead.
Hello everybody and welcome, and oh my god, where has everything gone? All of the screens and stuff have disappeared. Dave, what is going on?
I don't know. I just work here. That's.
I just tested it a second ago and it was all fine, like literally before it came on.
Don't worry about it. I'll just fill.
Give me a second, guys. Let's.
You're listening to Death Guard Radio. If you want more music, say yes in the chat.
I love machines. But hello everybody in the chat. Dave, take over while I fix this quickly.
I certainly will. Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode live stream of the Discussing the Resilient podcast. It's great to have you all here. While Aiden's fixing in the background, I'm going to say hello to the chat. So there are already 34 of you here. So Chris, strong boy, how you doing? Nuggle Matthew, great to have you here. Somebody called Death God Dave, sounds like a cool guy in the chat. Yep, great. Mikey Way, evening. Epsilon, how's it going, sir? Good to see you here. Jäger's Masma, hello, how's it going? Morton, pleasure to have you here as always. Who have we got? Sean Nowie Fern, hi guys. Hello, Sean, how you doing? Ben Hayden, hi. Back to you. Thank you for doing that. Dylan, nice to see you. It looks like it's going to be a good chat. We are going to jump into a plague surgery tonight.
I fixed
so I know
we've been
trying to catch up with them. but we're gonna jump in. Aidan, I'm sure Aidan will talk to it in a minute, but what we're gonna do is focus on people who are in the chat and lists, and also things past balanced data slate, given that that's where the new world is. Hopefully, people who are choosing Play Company. Well, I think everyone would have put Play Company because of the app, but hopefully, if you've put Flyblown host, you've referenced that somewhere. That will just give us an extra way to talk about this. Aidan, did I buy you enough time? Or do you need more?
Yeah, no, we're all good. It's all fixed. We're all alive and working now. We sorted it out. But yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in. As Dave said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy the content here, and consider becoming a Plague Marine member if that is something you are interested in. You get access to our
Aidan,
Discord.
why should they subscribe? What's the number at?
The number is actually about, is it 22 at this point off 8K?
27,980 subscribers.
So almost at 8K, and now we normally do some forfeits. We don't actually set one up for 8K, maybe we could, but Dave has some news on his 7,777K forfeit.
So in this box is, hang on.
That's what.
Yeah, there's a plague surgeon.
And people who may not know, Dave has how many models have you painted, Dave, in your life?
Hang on, let me work it out. None.
How many have you built, Dave?
None.
And what are you intending to do with that plague surgeon, Dave?
I'm gonna paint it. I don't want to paint it.
Yes, you are, Dave.
I know,
Yes,
I am going to paint it, and I will video it, and I will share the what happens. But the end result is actually a joke on you lot, because somebody's going to win it.
Yes.
And whether you like it or not, somebody's going to get it. And even if it's I have to hack into someone's account and get your address, I'm going to mail it to you. So somebody is going to win it.
Yeah, and the greatest thing is, Dave will never paint another model after that either. So that'll be
ever again.
You will literally own the only model ever painted by Death Guard Dave.
It will be the only ever thing painted by me. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think Dave's going to learn to love to paint after that one.
In fact, I would deliberately commission more models just to get over this.
Martin Brent asking, can you stream the painting sessions there, Dave?
Oh, fuck's sake. Excuse my friend. No, absolutely not. I will definitely video some of it. You would offer, oh yeah, no, I think that would be hilarious. The amount of grief I would get in the chat. You'd be like, what are you doing? No, don't put that there.
That would be fun. But yeah, we're
It
almost...
actually would be quite funny.
It would actually be. So we're almost at 8K subscribers, which is like another milestone. And just remember, everyone, people who don't know me, I have two things I hate in this world. The first one is Necrons and Necron players. Yeah. And the second thing is cheese. I despise cheese. We've probably just lost like 20 subscribers there. But
what happens in 20 subscribers, Aidan?
Not in 20. Try another 2,000. 10,000.
Oh, was it 10K?
It's a 10K.
Okay, fine. Oh, fine, but that's all right. This is more motivation for me to kind of keep going with
exactly. So at 10K subscribers, I will be gifted from Dave and Laser Chicken, who's one of my mods, and she sat right there. So it's not just a mod; it's my missus. I'm going to be gifted a very big cheese platter that I must eat live on stream, and there's a good chance I'm actually going to go full Nurgle and throw up everywhere. So yeah, you can look forward to that one. I'm not exactly looking forward to that, I won't lie. You think you've got it rough painting, Dave? I definitely think I've got it worse.
Yeah, but what at least what I can do is I'll do a cheese platter along with you.
Oh, so you can enjoy it while I'm like...
Yeah, so I can actually enjoy it and eat, like, just enjoy cheese and crackers and some wine and grapes and things, and, you know, then I can enjoy it while you don't.
Well, I'm just gagging, literally. Oh, dear me. Well... but on top of that, just before we jump in as well, Dave, you are off somewhere in January, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to be coming over to the great US city of Las Vegas to take part in the LVO. I'm going to be going over with Vanguard Tactics and, of course, bringing Death Guard. Stephen actually earlier, Stephen Box dropped into the LVO chat, set it up and was like, what's everyone bringing? And I wrote Eldari in it. And, of course, everyone was like, yeah, right, okay, sure.
Yeah, sure, Dave.
It would be really good to know if who from the community is going. I don't expect it all in this chat. We'll probably post it into the Discord. But I would love to meet some of you guys out there, film a bit of content, do some chats with some of the guys, see how everyone's getting on. Yeah, I'm super looking forward to it.
Yeah, and as we get close to the day, we'll have a sort of list building stream for Dave, figure out what he's going to take to LVO, and you guys can obviously have some input on that as well. And Sikag,
yeah, that'd be really good.
I may be anti-cheese, but pizza's fine because I can stand mozzarella because it's basically not cheese. That's like the limit of my extension of like my whatever willpower is to eat cheese. So yeah, so you got to look forward to that. Now, just a quick heads up as well. Obviously, Christmas is coming. There might be a bit of a lull in the streams just over the festive period because obviously we have families to see and stuff like that. And it also gives a little bit of time to have a bit of a break and sort of re-energize.
Yep.
I have got some videos like pre-scheduled to come out, so you're not going to be fully contentless. But just to give you all guys a head up, there might be a little less live streams of Discussing Resilient podcast, and I hope you guys understand why. Obviously, it being the festive period, and yeah, but just a quick one there. But for now, let's get into this, shall we, Dave?
Let's get into it. Let's do it. Let's go.
Cool. So we're going to go through selfies first here. So I've got selfies up. Okay. I wanted to try using Chaos Lords with MSU units for charging in and clearing some units and doing actions. Lightning Claws currently equipped because they seem sick, but may not be optimal. I also have a Defiler, Chaos Spawn, Bloat Drone, Lord of Virulence, one squad of Cultists and Playcasters that could be played around with. So, it's called Death Karts. So, cool name. Now we have, it's a Plague company. This is the cool thing now, Dave. We have 2 detachments to talk about, so maybe we'll see a Flyblown host.
I hope so.
I very upset the chat with Cheese. I should have stayed quiet. So
yeah, they're going to rebel.
Yeah, they are going to rebel. And again, if you are in the chat and your list is on the Plague Surgery, let us know your name. We'll find you and we'll go through yours. Because again, if you're live, we kind of want to give you a little benefit for tuning in.
The only thing I would say is that Epsilon said earlier, I think, oh good, now I don't have to bribe anyone to get my list looked at. But I think the sheer fact you said that means you probably do now.
Yeah, if Epsilon submits one, I'm not going to read it unless he bribes me. That's just... He called himself out on that one. He's his own worst. His own worst enemy.
Yeah, so nobody else did it.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Biologist Putrefier with Shamble Rot, so that's the -2 charge enhancement. We've got 2 Death Guard Chaos Lords with a Twin Lightning Claws and a Foul Blight Spawn. We've got a lot of Contagion Rocket Deadly Pathogen, my man. Mortarian, Typhus, so quite a lot of points in characters there, but that's not necessarily the worst thing for Death Guard. Death Guard
It's not unusual either for Death Guard.
Yeah, so we do spend quite a bit of characters. Then we've got 1 big squad of 10-man Plague Marines, the kind of standard loadout, Dave. We've got 2 Plague Spewers, 5 heavy Plague Weapons, Plasma Gun, 2 Blight Launchers, and 8 Blight Weapons. Okay, so we can come back to that one, because I definitely would be thinking about swapping these Blight Launchers out for the other weapons.
Yeah.
I think it's your head's already gone there as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so Plague Marines, squad 5-man, so just another 5-man MSU and another one to join it. So 2 5-man MSU squads of Plague Marines.
Very cool.
They're rocking Bubonic Weapons, and then the other one is a mixture of heavy Plague Weapons and a Melter Gun and a Flamer. Okay. 2 Rhinos, cool, so they're getting ferried around. A 3-man squad of Death Shroud Terminators, 1, 2, 3 Methodic Blight Haulers, 1 squad of 20 Poxwalkers, a unit of Nurglings, and a Rotigus. So, we've got Mortigus. We've got Mortigus combo. So 2 big toughness 12 guys there, which is quite nice. Now, so this list, he's saying he's using the Chaos Lords with MSU. So they're going to probably join the 5-mans, I'm going to guess. And the Biologist Putrefier and the Foul Blight Spawn join the big 10-man.
It's going in there. Yeah.
Okay. So one thing, Chaos Lords are a strange one. So Twin Lightning Claws actually are, I don't know if you ever rolled it out with Biologist Putrefier, Dave, they kind of slap.
Yeah, they do.
In a weird way.
They're not in Terminator armor, are they? They're just Chaos Lords.
Just normal Chaos Lords, yeah.
Okay, fine, yeah.
But giving them the lethal and the sustained both on 5s, because you've used Stratagem and Plague Company, with 7 attacks base anyway, and then you reroll the hit rolls of 1 because you hit on 2s, so you get 100% hit rate plus potentially sustained on 5, so you get like 3 extra hits. You can go up to like 10 hits, and you wound.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah, and then you can wound vehicles, and bear in mind, all of them will automatically wound vehicles on 5s as well. And then you can wound vehicles on like 5s with full rerolls, which actually mathematically is better than a 4 up to wound.
It is. Yeah.
Every time I rolled it out, I think I did like 8 damage to a tank just from the Chaos Lord with Biologist Putrefier, which is
pretty good.
It's kind of wild. Now, in this scenario, they're obviously not joined by a Biologist Putrefier, but I just point it out because you actually might be something you want to consider if you're against a matchup which doesn't have like a need for fight first. He actually might do better in the big 10. Yeah, just being like big slam damage, because the thing is then your Foul Blight Spawn can just stay in the Rhino and just fire in deck, a bit like a Diet Plague Boss. Now, having Chaos Lords in 5-mans, so one thing I'd say is I don't know if I would rock the Lightning Claws in a 5-man squad. I think probably just taking the Plague Fist, because the one thing you're looking to do is you're looking to flip them. Actually, here's a great question. If you're looking to flip objectives, Dave, 5 Plague Marines with heavy Plague Weapons in it will probably kill a couple of like Marine bodies, especially if there's a Chaos Lord there, even Lightning Claws. The problem is actually if you run into something like a 10-man guard squad where you might whiff a couple of 4-ups to hit, and then you've only killed like 5 of the guys and there's still 5 alive. So actually, having the Chaos Lord there with the lightning claws with the quantity attacks to kill lots of 1 wound models actually might be terrible. Now I'm more
and you get the desiccation conduit as well. So when they're in contagion range, end of the turn, you get to roll a d6 and do on a 4-up, do d3 mortal wounds as well.
Yeah, so it's not too bad actually. So you know what? I don't think your weapon choice for them is going to matter too much. But the idea of having these guys and into the Plague Marine squad to flip objectives, one thing you'll have to consider when you play around is what is your local area holding objectives with? Because a lot of the time, 5 Plague Marines alone will be enough to flip an objective, and the reason that's good is because you're using 90 points to flip an objective. Well, as soon as the Chaos Lord comes in there, you're almost doubling the points cost of the unit, which makes it a lot less efficient for flipping objectives. Now, the way I've been running it in like one weird list I've been trying is I had 2 rounds with a 5-man bare bones and then a 5-man with a Lord. The idea being that the 5-man with bare bones would go in first, clear off the whatever was holding it, and then they'd probably countercharge it with something to kill the 5 Plague Marines, which probably wouldn't be whatever was holding it first. So let's say you charge in and you kill like 5 intercessors, scouts, whatever. They then send something like 5 Death Company to come and kill it. That's a more expensive unit now. So then you can respond with a 5-man with a Chaos Lord, which is again a bit more expensive to kill that unit. Because a 5-man Bare Bones Plague Marine squad might not get the job done there. So that is something you can consider. Now, we talked about the weapons before, Dave. We probably would recommend dropping the Blight Launchers, wouldn't we, Dave?
Yeah, I think so. They're good there, but I think you may as well get the melter guns in there.
Yeah, melters or even plasmas. They're just in every way just better.
I would also say the other option on the 5-man is, which is a really interesting one, is to actually drop the Icon Bearer in there, and for only 45 points, and not because of the 12-inch once per game battle, but the fact that he can make them OC3.
That is true.
Is another really interesting one, and a cheap way to drop in a unit that can make that unit flip objectives, to your point, even easier, but without having to need to go into combat to do it. And maybe pull something this side of a wall or something like that. And the other thing I found with the 5-mans is I've traditionally run them relatively bare bones without a leader attached, so that when the Rhino kind of I don't know, like particularly on UKTC, there's a map where you've got a 3-inch gap between the board edge and an L that's 9 inches off the bottom on the right hand corner. I think it's a search and destroy map. Yeah, you can actually just drop that Rhino there. You can either then drop them out onto the point or park the Rhino on the point and then drop out a 5-man squad that's got lots. You can put a melter gun, a plasma gun, a spewer, and potentially a blight launcher in that one to give yourself the maximum amount of shooting. And that unit supporting something like a Mephitic Blight Hauler or a Predator shooting at something can often finish off the wounds that you need to, and it can stay close enough to the Rhino that it can hop back in, or just kind of put that OC on the point. So I think you don't always need to attach a character to it to get that, or to do that. Or if not, you don't need to attach a character of that expense. Yeah,
and one thing I actually want to shout out is Icon Bearer genuinely might get more value because Reavers are going to be everywhere, and people don't know Reavers got a comically, because Reavers were like trash. Now they're like really good because they got to change the rules. So now the rule is Reaver squads have a 6-inch aura of -1 OC, and it does not have a limit of minimum 1. They can take you to OC0. So what this means is if you just have 5 Plague Marines on a point, 5 Reavers walk up on the other side of the wall and they will not take
5.9 inches away.
Yeah. Which easily means they don't have to be in any danger here. They can just sit on the other side of the wall on the objective. And that aura touches you. They won't take it off you, but what they'll do is if you've not sticking it, they'll at least equal you. And that means that it'll be contested, which means you won't hold it. Having an Icon Bearer in your list is like 40 points, is it? 45 points? It's quite cheap.
Yeah, 45 points.
And it means if you do run into Marines, which are going to be everywhere, I'm guarantee this now. Like, I think Stephen was even talking about taking like 3 units of Reavers because they're so
three units of Reavers. Like,
oh god, they're horrible. So what you can do is, if you come across that matchup, you can add the Icon Bearer to a squad, and now they have OC 15 plus the 17 because of the Icon Bearer. And it means if someone does try to do this Reaver tech to you, you're still OC 2. Because they don't overlap you. Because it's an aura, they don't stack. So they can't bring multiple Reaver squads.
That's quite powerful for a cheap unit that can then also once per game punch out to 12 inches with your or if you're within 12 inches of Morty and then you decide at the start of your battle round you want to push it even to 15, you can.
Yeah, exactly. Epsilon, they've ruled that for stuff like toughness, movement, etc. But you can reduce OC to 0 because you can be battle shocked, which sets it to 0. So OC can definitely go to 0, and it is. AdMech players have been doing it with the Vanguard squads for a while, and it's if you've not played against it because AdMech's quite rare. Oh my god, it's annoying. It is so annoying to have like 20 Poxwalkers become OC 0. Not because of battle shock, not because just because someone stood near you.
Because of
So expect to see them. So actually, Icon Bearer might actually be a better shout than one of these Plague Marine champions. Not Plague Marine champions, sorry, Chaos Lords. Plus that would also
in the 5-man,
yeah. Plus that would also save you 20 points, and then Shamble Rot at the moment. Honestly, I'd probably look at dropping as well. Shamble Rot is kind of if you're running a Foul Blight spawn squad, you kind of at odds and ends because Shamble Rot says don't charge me, you're going to fail your charge roll. But you already have Fight First, which kind of wants to get charged because you fight first.
Yeah, I think to your point about what you're playing into locally is if you're playing against people who are technical enough to maybe charge 2 units into them, and that kind of thing happens in your meta because you've got some people who are playing that way, they're quite technical. Then I can see that working. I can see it being there. But if you've now saved 20 points on the Chaos Lord and Shamble Rot together, you're not far off getting a Nurgling squad. Or something like that. So perhaps that is the reason why you've taken it, and that is right. But there's other ways to look at it.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the rest of this list is actually fairly fine. You've got Mortai and Rotagus who are going to sort of fight over the middle. And basically, because they've got 2 big toughness 12 bodies, you've got a bit of a surgeon scalpel to go with the Death Shroud squad because you've got a 3-man Lord of Contagion. I know you said up top, should have stopped it for LOV. No, Lord of Contagion, a 3-man every day. You do have some Chaos Spawn, which potentially you could look at putting in a bloat drone. But you don't have any like long range shooting, so I'd probably just keep the 3 halls in case you need to crack a transport. But I mean, basically, the way this plays is your 10-man is more than likely going to be like holding your natural objective, as we like to call it. Your 2 5-man, your 4 5-man, you got 2 5-man units, 2 5-man, yeah. Cut 1 Chaos Lord. Put a bad Banner Bearer in as the third thing, because again, if you don't need the OC, the Banner Bearer can just run solo. He can, he can. The one great thing is he can disembark a transport, move, drop the banner, and do an action. It doesn't stop any of it happening, so he can just be a great little 1-unit utility piece. So it's not like this is the thing. The more I'm playing with the Icon Bearer, the more I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, he's a cheap character that can do actions and spread contagion, which is nice. Like it's not a bad thing. No, and best case scenario, it saves your ass against stuff like Reavers.
The other thing is looking at this list is I'm looking at it going as it is. I'm not sure what Morty's particularly running with here. I think I'd actually put Morty and Deep Strike in this list.
Yeah, because you're not really supporting any firepower. The only thing you have to be aware of if you're going to put Morty in Deep Strike is you have to fight for some board space. But again, if you stage your rhinos, people don't really want to come too near it.
No.
And people won't want to come
especially near your kind of your 10-man fight first brick. And a couple of blight haulers over on a different flank is nothing. And Poxwalkers can make some space. So Aiden's absolutely right. You do need to think out. You need to think about that. But I look at the system and go, he's not supporting anything particularly here. So I would look to drop him down and keep your opponent being like, F, where's Morty going to land?
Yeah. And so all I'd really recommend changing is for the 5-man squads that want to go and basically take an objective off an opponent, max out on like the melee weapons, because you're more likely going to be trying to charge onto an objective. You don't be like having some plasma guns is fine. Like, I don't mind 2 plasma guns in the squad and like 3 heavy plague weapons, and the last one you can put Biotic or whatever you want. So as long as you're flipping you need to be flipping their natural objective, whilst holding your own with this 10-man squad. And then basically Morty and Rotagus are going to be fighting to hold center, or at least keep your opponent off center, because trying to kill both of them is going to be quite tough. Just don't expose them one at a time. Morty and Rotagus have to expose at the same time. And if you can do that at the same turn, you rapid ingress something like Death Shroud Terminators to give them a bit of a problem sort of in the back line or threatening something else, then you're in a fairly good position.
You're probably going to have to, and you're probably. I know we don't spend too much time on each list, but you're probably also looking in this situation to stick those Poxwalkers. Depending on your deployment, it's probably going to have to sit in in your deployment zone, screening it out. And then, like Hayden says, chuck Morty and Roticus forward. If you're playing a matchup where you don't have to screen your deployment zone for some reason, like it's a guard tank list or something, and there aren't any Aquilons or something in there or something else that can drop in, you could actually chuck. You've then actually got Morty and Roticus and 20 Poxwalkers to throw near the middle, and actually the Poxwalkers can sit there and all day long there whilst Morty and the Roticus move off.
Yeah. So you will leave that one there for now. I don't think you need to do too much change. I probably just wouldn't run the double Chaos Lord. One, I'm fine with. Second one, I'd probably try and swap for like an Icon Bearer just for a bit of flexibility. Or just put a unit of Cultists or something in your list, just so you have some extra chaff units to sort of throw out and do stuff. But when you're flipping objectives, you don't really want to be doing it with 155 point units. You want to be doing it with like 90 point units. Like that's what made like Jump Assault Intercessors so good, because they were dirt cheap, did a bunch of models, could clear a point and take it off people, and then they died. Because they're going to die. They're not going to live after it. Even with a Chaos Lord, they're going to die. So that's fine. Epsilon, thank you very much for the $2 super chat, mate. You battle shocked me, just bought 2k of Nids too. You monster. But yeah, we'll do your list now, so I've just found it. So Epsilon. So you use Tabletop Sim to have something pretty to look at instead of just text, so feast your eyes. For clarification, the Blight Halls are solo. 6 mans of Death Shroud, Predator Destructors, Warlock Huntsmen. They're Brigands though. Oh okay. No, they are Huntsmen.
They're Huntsmen, yeah.
They're Brigands, but cheaper and arguably more movement because you want to charge in front of the way. So it's the ones which have the... I think they 140 actually. I mean, they went down again.
140 now. Yeah, they just keep... They're like, no one's using them. Keep making them cheaper. 140, yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll put up the screen here. So we've obviously got Big Marty Man. He's supporting 2 Predator Destructors by the look of it. We've got two 6-man Death Shroud Terminators, both with a Lord of Contagion. Looks like we have a flexible Death Guard Terminator Sorcerer, though, so that can flex into one of the squads and give them, obviously, -1 damage. Is it just the 12 Death Shroud? Looks like it's
two 6 units, yeah. Typhus, couple of, a Sorcerer.
Typhus rocking solo, 3 solo Blight Halls, which is good because you're obviously struggling a bit for action monkeys here, and obviously you will have a character come solo, which Typhus and one of the Lord of Contagions can do, so it's not too bad there. Yeah. And then 3 Huntsmen. So what's the most interesting part of this list? It's quite Death Shroud heavy. I don't mind that, and I don't know if I would go 6-3-3 on the Death Shroud here, just because you're quite tight on units.
For unit count.
Yeah, and you have got 2 Lord of Contagions there as well. And Lord of Contagions can make stuff slap quite hard. And it gives you that extra bit of flexibility. And given the upcoming meta of oaths, I would rather have a 3-man squad get oathed rather than a 6-man squad get oathed. Because oath is going to be quite brutal into your big units at the moment. That being said, that's probably a side grade. What do you think about the Huntsman, Dave?
So... Interesting, right? So their ability is reroll a wound roll of 1 and reroll a damage roll of 1 into vehicles and monsters. So if you're, I think he said that Epsilon said that there's a tank heavy meta, so that's a good thing. The fact that you've got the Demon Breath Melter gun is pretty decent. I mean, it's Demon Spear strength 12 as well, so that is going to be going into a fair few vehicles, and if not winning on 4s, and then you get your rerolls afterwards. It's pretty decent, but it is hitting on 3s. So that's interesting. They've got fast movement to get you onto points, and then you've got your kind of Mephitic Blight Haulers. I agree with you. I think there's interestingly here. I think you're going to end up with your Predators staying in your deployment zone, shifting up and down around cover to get angles while staying in cover to get shots off. They look like they've got las cannons.
Yep.
Which is good. Your Death Shroud is going to be, I think, a staging one group, arguably to Aiden's point, with 2 3s. They could be 2-3 good ones to kick into to both drop into a deep strike for a rapid ingress and then a deep strike to keep your opponent guessing and having to screen back to keep at least some of their units back. The Huntsmen are fast. I mean, 12 inches, T10.
The OC is very nice.
OC's 8. I mean, you've got 24 OC there between the 3 of them, and then you've got Morty to help kind of ignore mods on the Preds, which is going to be useful. So this is going to be an interesting list, though, in terms of if you're going to be playing a bit of a shooting match into tanks, and then you're going to have a bit of a try and pull my opponent out, and then probably try and hit it with a lot of things to try and wreck like kind of their firepower. And then you can go back to playing the game. So it's an interesting one. It's either you're going to use this stuff to be tough and playing the game, playing the primary, or you're going to try and cripple it if you can.
Yeah. I actually don't mind the Huntsman. I've actually witnessed this list fairly similar. It was 18 Shroud, didn't have the Halls, but it did have 3 Huntsmen. And the
Yeah.
fella was fairly surprised at how effective the Huntsmen were. Yes, you are hitting on 3s, but the other good thing is the Death Shroud work well when they have like the exposed turn, and the Huntsmen make up for a big lack of OC in the list. The 8 is quite nice, and them going. The problem with when you run Brigands and you want to use the OC is they have to walk forward, and Brigands kind of just want to be shooting.
Yeah.
Not that they don't want to be close because obviously melt rule, but the Huntsmen want to also be charging, which is quite you want to get use out of that cleaver that they've got, and that means that you have a much more natural usage of their OC, which is quite nice to have. If this list manages to get into a good position where you can have obviously, don't be afraid to actually rapid ingress on a Huntsman, so you can put one in strat reserves rapid ingress on. But if you have a position where you have Morty, the 2 Death Shroud tournament is fairly untouched, and like at least 2 Huntsmen putting pressure on you at once, there's a lot to try and deal with at the same time. And it also means that your Predators can then take aggressive angles, because if people want to shoot your Predators while you've put them in that situation, like, feel free, kill the Predators. So just always remember, when you actually do an aggressive push, you can take riskier angles with your shooting units, because the direct threat is in the face. And again, sometimes armies work better in like waves. Like you send one wave, they kill it in the next wave. Death Guard at the moment don't really want to do that, especially the Death Shroud builds. You have the go turn, except the fact you're probably going to lose a squad, but the rest of it connects. So I actually don't mind the Huntsman here. The one thing I actually don't like about it, I'll be honest with you, is I'd probably drop a Hauler for some cultists. I don't know if this is a 2,000 point on the nose list, or if it's got 10 points spare.
What's it, 130, 260, 560? It's probably not far off. Without doing it exactly, it looks to me like there might be a little bit of... maybe it's...
If it's 2k on the nose, change one of a lot of contagions to a Sorcerer, so you get 2 Sorcerers, because they're 10 points cheaper. Plus, they're just really good. Sorcerers in general are just good.
Yeah.
And drop a Hauler. And that's going to give you 2 squads of cultists or unit of Potswalkers. Something to hold home that isn't going to be as demanded on the points. And then it gives you another unit to play forward with. It just means that if you get something dumb early, like area denial, you don't have to put out a big unit. You can just throw out
a company, right? So
you
need to, you need to throw something out if you get turn 1, because none of this gets on the... You're not getting on the point to hold a primary or to stick in objective like easily turn 1 with a throwaway unit.
Yeah, and that thing is, even if you do, and like you said, Dave said then, the key word there being a throwaway unit. Like, you could put a Huntsman on the point. You could put Dash on the point. They will die. This is again a list that has to come out at once.
None of this is really throwaway.
Yeah.
Your most throwaway unit in this is a Blight Hauler.
Yeah. So I mean, like, that's probably like where I'm at. I'd either, if you cut the Blight Hauler down into like 2 scoring things, like 2 sorts of cultists, and you just drop a lot of contagion to a Sorcerer, I actually like it quite a bit.
Just bin 1 Hauler, drop down to 1 Sorcerer, and then that gives you the points. That gives you 100 points. That gives you, like Aiden says, that's a good call. Gives you 2 cultists.
And then you can play around with the list. I'd run your 6-mans first, see how that feels. If you feel like you're light on units, maybe then consider just swapping them for 3-mans, because the great thing is there, you're not having to change the list, you're just changing how the list plays. So give it a bit of an experimentation, but part of that, I actually like this. It's got a good amount of solid shooting. Predators, now one interesting thing me and Dave were actually discussing about is, in the upcoming meta, do heavy bolters come back?
Yeah.
Because Marines are going to be everywhere. Make no mistake, Marines are going to be absolutely everywhere.
And don't sleep on sustained and lethal.
Yes, lethal and sustained combo is really nice, especially because we get Marines down to to AP2, AP3, potentially ignore cover if you take the -1 safe contagion. And the real question is, we kind of have to see how the meta evolves, because here's the problem: Doomsday Arcs and stuff exist, but las cannons just aren't very good at killing Doomsday Arcs, because they got 4-up invulnerable, and then they'll reactive move after you've shot one and it hides. Like, the detachment's silly. I'm not going to go on a rant, promise. But so we got to think about what the other army's going to bring. Now, you've got a lot of Melter, you've got 2 Blight Haulers still, 3 Huntsmen, so the Melter's pretty covered. So actually, one thing you might struggle to kill is what if they've got a fairly, like a big Stern Guard veteran squad that they've screened out, they keep shooting you, you can't get to them with your little flamers, you don't really want to put Melters into it. So the autocannons are good, but they don't have the volume to kill all of them. So maybe if you consider potentially playing around with the heavy bolters and the lascans, and again, you don't have to change your list for this, what's good about it. So think about your local meta and actually put some consideration, because normally we're just like lascannons, wham, straight on. Whereas actually at this point, because of the meta and Marines might become infantry heavy builds, you might want to consider maybe just mixing that up and maybe having a little bit of a switcheroo. So,
and I don't think it's even. And like I said, Marines are definitely going to be there, right? They're going to be the biggest represented faction, hands down, regardless of what's going on, whatever flavor they are. But even things like Eldari are going to turn up in mass MSU. Drakari will be MSU. I think it's important into a lot of armies. Playing World Eaters, play combi bottles are great. There's a lot of factions that it's still going to be in, and you're right. We need to see how it shakes out. But yeah, I think it's a really important thing to give us a try again. I think we can't just and the other thing is, going back to a Doomsday Arc comment, is if you kill enough of the scoring units, if a Doomsday Arc's got to go and do scoring, who cares?
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, give that a whirl, mate. I'd give us changes. You know your meta better than us, so even though we say, do this.
It looks cool, Epsilon.
Yeah, it's a very cool list. So let us know how it goes, and let us know how the Stalkers perform as well, because I'm interested to see that. Cool. Anyone else in the chat got a list in here? I'll pick the next one random, and then if anyone else in the chat got a list, we can go do theirs. So we've got Nurgle Cultist Chris, who's just put one up quite literally. So we'll go with that, because he's probably helpful here. So we have a Flyblown list. Flyblown, a lot of virulence with Blight Lord Terminators, a lot of contagion, deep strike with Death Shroud Terminators. Okay, so he's just saying what they do. Okay. Typhus, 2 Death Guard Sorcerer and Terminator armors, a lot of contagion, a lot of virulence rocking the droning chorus. That is the advance and shoot, my guy. Jacob Virginia, no worries, we'll get you as well. And Kobe. If you could do us a favor, if your name is different to your Discord name, find your list that you've posted, tag me in it, because then it's just easier for me to find. We got a lot of virulence with the joining chorus. We've got Tallyman, nice. Plague Veil on the Tallyman, so that's the lone up. 10 Blight Lord Terminators, 18 Death Shroud Terminators,
nice.
60 Poxwalkers, 1 Pathetic Blight Hauler, a Beast of Nurgle, and a squad of 6 Nurglings, and a squad of 3 Nurglings. Okay.
Nice.
So, heavy Terminator build here. So, what do you think, Dave?
I mean, this is an interesting one. I think this is having put something not too far off of this on the table. I like it. I think it probably wants to. It definitely, with that amount of Poxwalkers, you're going to want to commit to the scout move, and just keep as much on the table kind of as you can for that. I do think personally, I actually liked having the Blight Lords suddenly going up into space, and because of the mission we were playing, but actually starting that unit to drop down somewhere and just put all that firepower in is really good, especially if you're not shooting something that's just on 4-up invulns.
Yeah.
Or 4-up feel no pains. If your opponent's not sitting on stuff like that, then dropping that unit down and blasting it with 10 Terminators that come out of nowhere is really, really good, and I would 100% recommend that. The 6 Nurglings are really strong to give you a bit of denial from a infiltrating opponent. However, a 6 and a 3 might be too much.
I agree.
If you don't, especially if you don't go first, and then they drop down something in a really annoying place. Yes, the 3 can arguably be used for later game for behind enemy lines or something like that, but the 6 might actually struggle to string out and do what it's supposed to do. So you could possibly look at dropping the 6 or definitely dropping the 3 in this list. I would say your Mephitic Blight Hauler, if it's there to give you -1 to wound, and you're really, really keen that that's a thing, you could also consider taking out potentially one of the Poxwalker units and putting another one of those in to give you 2 options across the board.
What I was going to say, Dave, is I would cut down a 20-man to a 10-man, have that hold you home, get rid of the 3-man Nurgling squad, there's your 90 points. Second
there you go. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. But apart from that, I think the Tallyman, if you're playing Flyblown, you definitely need the CP. It's not like Plague Company, where you're already getting the buffs. You've got Lord of Virulence to get great. He drops in with Interesting. So he's got draining. Yeah, he's got draining course. That's fine. Yeah, he drops in with the Blight Lords.
Yeah.
Yeah, two Death Class Sorcerers. Yeah, I actually like Chain Fists on them, to be honest. I think the anti-vehicle 3-up is useful, especially as you've got no other, as you wouldn't do in this list, you haven't got any las cannons or anti-vehicles, so really, because the Blight Haulers are going to be playing more of a support role. Makes sense as well. Typhus, always. And then you've got an LOC deep striking with the DSTs, then you've got -1 to wound on another one. So yeah,
Yes.
I like it. The other one is the Beast of Nurgle. Is I get why people take them. I'm personally still not sold on taking them.
I personally would actually use the Beast Nurgle and the Nurgling points to get the Hauler and keep the third 20-man squad of Poxwalkers, because Poxwalkers in Flyblown are like one of the best units.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think every time I start a Flyblown list, it's 60 Poxwalkers straight away. It's like the first thing that goes in.
Yeah. I think the 60 Poxwalkers is a foundation.
Yeah, it's so good. And also, having 2 Haulers means that... So, one quick thing I was taught by the GSC player, just to teach Chris very quickly. This list, when you play flanks. You go both down the sides, and you kind of want a 20-man going at each side, followed by a Death Shroud squad. And then basically what happens is, when you pressure someone like that, most players are going to react to one side. That means the other one's fairly secured. The secure side, once you've got onto your objective and secured it, will start them pushing into either rotation into the middle or going into the opponent's backline, depending on what you need to do. The side that your opponent's responding to is where your third Death Shroud Terminator squad rapid ingresses in, and that's where you start sending the other 20 Poxwalker unit. You reinforce it, you keep... Because you're not trying to kill them. All you're trying to do is make sure that objective that they call a natural has, at the end of every one of your turns, more OC of it of yours than your opponent. You just want to hold them to 0 so many times. Yes, Mike Way, that Death Shroud unit, I lost turn 1 because I rolled a 6 on the advance after scouting, and I got very overzealous and just put maximum range. I could have just hid him behind a fucking building, and then he shot a Predator at me, and I rolled 4 2s to save, and they all died. All 4 of them.
I think I actually tuned in at that point.
You still lost though, Mikey.
Truth.
But yeah, don't be silly. But yes, it's very much a scouting poxy jail list, and having 2 haulers means that you can give either one of those squads the threat of minus, because the -1 to be wounded is more important on a Poxwalk unit than it is the Terminator units. Obviously, Death Shroud naturally, but now with new Oath, don't be afraid to double stack -1 to wound to counter Oath. Don't be afraid to do that. Fuck Oath. But yeah, I mean, that's probably all the changes I'd really... Sorry, Mikey. That's probably all the changes I'd do. I'd probably drop the Beast of Nurgle, the second unit of Nurglings here to get another hauler in there. Part of that, give it a play, see how it goes. Try that sort of style of play and give it a go. Another reason you don't want to have loads of Nurglings is because, unless it's Space Marine Scouts, which unfortunately is common, if an opponent wants to deny you Scout by deploying 9-inch off your line, take the 5-inch charge and then thank them for giving you a 6-inch pile and consolidate to get to where you want to go. So it's not always the worst thing to get your scout block straight away. You want one side to always be able to scout. That's why you always bring at least one unit of Nurglings. But the second one, don't worry about it too much. Cool. Right. So excellent. There you go, Nurgle Chris. So next one. Right. So we've got a few people in the chat who want theirs going over. We'll try and speed up a little bit because.
Mikey, yeah. Look, next time you play, just give me a bit more heads up, and I'll call your charges for you.
Oh God, please don't do that. So we got Kobe, so we got Play Company 2K, so we got Typhus, Biologist Putrefier, Foul Blightspawn, Lord of Contagion, Lord of Virulence, Plague Bus looks like, 2 5-man Plague Marines, a 10-man Plague Marine unit, 1 squad of Cullists, 1 3-man squad of Death Shroud, 1 6-man squad of Death Shroud, 10 Poxwalkers, 2 Fetid Bloat Drones, 1 with Spitters, 1 with Mower, 2 Plague Bus Crawlers, and 2 Death Guard Rhino. So a very, very old school sort of like traditional list there, Dave. So straight away, all I'm going to say is, if the Poxwalkers are just going to be holding you home, fair enough. If you're ever considering using this unit like more aggressively, Cultists in 10-mans are just generically always better than Poxwalkers because they're faster. They have scout move. But if your sole purpose, like the entire reason on your list, is to hold home, the Feel No Pain is actually better.
It's much better, yeah.
You
need if they're going to be any form of an aggressive push or a hold, you need 20 on the Poxes.
Yeah. Now, part of that, Plague Bus is solid. Like, this Plague Bus is still really good. It's going to murder Marines in the meta upcoming, which is really
still
nice.
Super solid.
You've got the 10-man sort of like super melee heavy fights first that can either hold you natural or push you more aggressively. Really, like most of it is pretty solid and pretty straightforward as it is. Lot of virulence. You've got a lot of virulence in here. Now you do have 2 plague burst crawls. They're the big question really in this list, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of expense, 360 points within this list, and you are either committing those things to throw them forwards, and but what have you got with them? You've got 2 plague spitters on one, 2 entropy cannons on another. Is that because you genuinely want to have that loadout, or was that just a I don't know if you can see it enough in time on here, but or do you really want to play that way to give yourself a bit of anti-tank? If you're going to put them in, I think they should probably both be spitters, and you're going to be using them a bit aggressively alongside other units.
Yeah, the problem with Plague Bus Calls is just cost at the moment.
It's so pricey.
So, as we don't have a codex, and as we have fairly bad data sheets, there's 2 things that currently are keeping Death Guard competitive and have been for a while now. One is the amazing changes to our detachment rules, with -1 save, etc. And the second thing is how cheap we are.
Yep.
Like, Death Shroud turn rates, in all reality, should probably not be 110 points. They're kind of absurd.
Yep,
the reason they are allowed to be 110 points is because everything else around it's kind of shit.
Yep.
So, when we bring PBCs, which are now, when they could indirect properly, were probably okay costed.
Yeah, they were.
Now you can't do that. They are just way too expensive of a tank. Like, Predators each are 50 points cheaper. I understand you don't have Predators, so I'm not going to suggest you swap to Predators, but we're just trying to give you the reason why Predators are like being taken all the time, because 360 points there is a Primarch and 60 points spare. Now
that's a lot. That's a 6 OC 10-inch moving model with two weapons that do a lot of damage and then a melee attack, who can buff units around it. It's a lot to ask for 2 hitting on 4 indirect weapons.
Yeah, I honestly think you should drop one of the Flavor Squad, probably the Spitters, and just take your 2 Blight Haulers you've got. Just 2 one-man squads. They're actually growing on me a little bit. They're not too bad. Like, they have the ability to just go off, be annoying little tough units. They can do actions for you. Then combined with the bloat drones, you've got 4 90-point demon engines, which are really annoying to kill. Can force bad trades from your opponent. And they're just going to also give you that early skirmishing firepower because...
Aiden, guess what 4 90-point units equates to the same price as?
Go on.
2 Plague Burst Brawlers.
Oh, look at that. And they'll probably get more work done for you. PBCs would... Yeah, honestly, if I could remove the indirect fire keyword from the PBC and it would go down like 40 points, 30 points, do it. Just take it off. I don't care. Please. Like it's holding them back so badly at the moment. Yeah. Now, another thing you could potentially consider is dropping the Plague Bus to a single 5-man squad. We've seen this before. That's more than fine. You can use those 90 points to get like another bloat drone, and you could go quite heavy on the demon engines. Because
that'd be quite cool to see this.
Because then you'd have 5 demon engines, you have 3 bloat drones, 2 blight haulers. Natalie, if you're listening to the stream, the dog is currently sat in your chair trying to eat your silver death. Just a heads up, I am pulling double duty here. I am pulling his chair.
Train him to eat Necrons.
Yes, actually, great idea, and I'll bring him to an event with me. That'd be a great idea, Dave. But actually, I'd probably go like a more heavy onto your 90-point demon engines, really. So bring the haulers, bring the last bloat drone, cut out one of the 5-man Plague Marine squads. So then you've got 5 90-point demon engines that can do a lot of skirmishing. And then you have your big hammer unit. You've got 2 big hammer units with your Plague Marines and your 6-man Death Shroud squad. And you've got, again, you've still got something to flip OC there with a 5-man Plague Marine squad. Plus, you've got a 3-man squad of Death Shroud, which can be more like a surgeon.
Yep. And you've got your 10-man fights first to hold whatever you need to hold. And then you've still got 2 rhinos driving around the place as well.
Yeah, that gives you a fairly solid, like, overall list to start playing like with Death Guard and sort of getting used to it. One of your friends is playing a lot of Necrons recently. Honestly, it's just a horrible matchup. And
pretty much no matter what you're running, it's tough. Especially if they're playing Aiden's favourite, then it doesn't. To almost to a certain extent, it's not mattering what you do. There's a certain bit that gets to a certain point in the game where you have to kind of ignore them and just try and score points. But yeah, just this is an interesting one, and I think also for someone in the community, if you were up for doing it, playing 5 demon engines with some Death Shroud, with a 10-man fight first, with a plague bus, would be a really I'd personally be really interested to hear from you how this goes.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things that will. A lot of the good thing about that is because they're also cheap. They force bad trades from your opponent quite a lot. Plague Bus crawlers never trade well, and because you've got 2 quite expensive units with the Death Shroud Terminators and the Plague Marine squad, which is always very expensive, you need something to engage onto the bloat drones. Because the thing is, bloat drones can't be killed by random pot shots. People have to send a real unit at that. So if you were, for example, and this is again just spitballing, say you had a unit of 6 Sanguinary Guard and Dante, they fly in to kill a bloat drone off a point. If you can then respond with your Plague Marines and kill that back, you just traded 90 points to like 300 points. Yeah. That's how you win with Demon Engines at 90 points. So give it a whirl though.
And with 5 of them as well. If you had 2 Blight Haulers in there, then you've got standard loadouts on both. With the 3 drones that you could chuck in there, you could have 2 lots of spitters for dealing with infantry, and then a heavy blight launcher for 36-inch range, 6 shots. You know, hit on 3s,
start doing your actions,
2 damage, or just flanking around the back, doing actions exactly. I think it's I think that'd be really interesting to run. So yeah, maybe give it a go.
It would be. So again, we'll try and get another 1 or 2 in here quickly. So next one we got at the bottom here. So we got auras pointed to us to his. So let's go find auras. So we got a paste bin. This is what it is. So paste bin. Cool. So we got Mortarion, Typhus, Lord of Virulence, a Malignant Plaguecaster, 5-man Plague Marine squad, 5-man Plague Marine squad, 2 5-mans. Looks like we got a little bit of a little Rhino there. We got Rhino. We got Rhino. Yes, 1 Rhino. So so there's a single Plaguecaster and a Plague Bus, but you got 2 5-mans in it. Okay. Then we got 5 Blightlord Terminators, 20 Poxwalkers, 10 Poxwalkers, Death Guard Defiler, Fetid Bloat Drone, 1 Hauler, 2 Hauler, 3 Hauler, and 2 Plague Bus Crawlers. So I'm just going to have a quick thing. Thoughts on these lists so far? I really like 20 Poxwalkers versus Gene Steel Cult. They crush with Typhus attached. Yep, Typhus and 20 Pox I really do enjoy. Morty drone holes and the crab all felt great. The crabs felt like a castigator in shooting, had more wounds and a fire up defensively. They had better melee than Morty if someone got close. I'm looking to cut the 10 Poxwalkers, the Lord of Virulence, the Blight Lords, PBCs and Plague Marines. They all felt unreliable, or that other things like Cultists or Pox, Death Shroud Terminator of Blight Lords, and Predators or PBCs would do better. But I don't own those models yet.
Is this Plague Company?
This is Plague Company, yeah. My next event is 4th to 5th of January next year with a list lock a couple of days prior, so we'll be using new rules. That might be out by the time you really say it. Yes, they were. Yeah. I'm currently painting up another playcast and a lot of contingents. Okay, so we've got dual playcast, that's good to know. With some Death Shroud in the post. That will leave me with the following options in my current collection. What would you recommend I add to the roster next? So we got... So you're asking us to recommend what to buy next?
Or
correct?
Yeah. So this is a list where I had in real life at the time. Okay, so yes, okay. So what to get next? Right. So hang on. So the top is this what is owned?
So he wants us to know what to suggest to buy next, basically for his collection.
Right, Typhus Morty, 2 Demon Princes, 2 Blightbringers, 2 Plaguecasters, Tammy Sorcerer, LOV, LOC. Cool. Yeah. 30 Pox. So 10 more Pox. To give you the option to get to 40 to 20, I would say is a good one. Character wise, I would either add another LOC or another Tommy Sorcerer. Not trying to give you a huge shopping list, but just as character options, if you're going to buy one, I'd get 1 or more of each of those. I would definitely get some more DSTs.
Okay, so do list at the bottom as well.
I would absolutely get some more of those if you can. And then you've got 3 haulers, you've got 2 BBCs, you've got 2 land raiders, you've got a crab, you've got 2 rhinos. You probably need another drone, and you need and ideally some more cultists. So out of that list, if I could say to add more to those bits, I think that's probably what I would. Are there plague marines in that list?
There are. So this is the new list he's took us run, which I automatically like more. It's a bit more refined. You can tell he's definitely played a bit and now learned what he likes. So
yeah, the Plaguecaster, yeah, great.
Yeah, so we've got dual Plaguecaster. One's going to 5 Plague Marines. So you got Plague Bus. I like the fact that even though you said you don't like Plague Marines, you've still kept 5-man. It is important to have a bit of OC just to flip a primary, because 1 turn of flipping primary can genuinely win you a game. So having that is nice. Squad of Cultists we like. 3 on Death Shroud Terminators. 20 Poxwalkers with Typhus, really good. Now you have brought along a Land Raider here, which is quite an interesting piece. Now not a bad piece though. I've seen that used by like Zito, and he's had some real good work with it, which is really nice. Then you've got one Bloat Drone, three Haulers, one Plague Burst Crawler. That's the obvious standout probably to me here, which I probably would like be looking to swap out straight away. One Plague Burst Crawler on its own is just going to get nothing done. If you have any more cheap bloat drones, I'd get another bloat drone in there. Or I would use the points on it to... You could put this into... How many characters we got up here? So that'd be 180. You could... Like, that could actually be another squad of Death Shroud Terminators plus a Terminator Sorcerer, because it's 110 plus 70. Which straight away makes me like it a lot more. Just to have that second 3-man squad of Terminators, sort of like... rapid ingress in, do things, be annoying.
What's going in the Land Raider?
It'll be 3 Death Shroud Terminators plus the LOC, yeah, which would be my guess.
That's one from my view. Like I like the cultists, I like the plague bus, like the 5-man in there, like the cultists in there, good. 20 Poxwalkers, great. Like the Defiler. I know it's not giving you loads of tank, but I don't feel like I think if you're going to put stuff inside the Land Raider, then it either just wants to be a 6-man block of Death Shroud, or it wants to be a full Plague Marine group.
Yeah.
I think it's a good platform, but it depends on what your terrain looks like as well, as to whether you can really maneuver it into the right places. I don't think using that as a delivery for 3 Death Shroud is necessarily, if that's what swayed your decision to take a Land Raider, I don't know if that's the best choice.
Yeah, so you said the list was missing an ingress threat, needs more Death Shroud Terminators. That's where my head's at, because the thing is, he said his Plague Burst Call was to hold home against 3-inch Deep Strike, which is a very fair point. Not so much of an issue anymore with a 6-inch Deep Strike. You can actually... if you just swap that PPC for 20 Poxwalkers, you've still got 80 points left over, and you can screen your entire deployment zone. Yeah, I mean, he's already got 20, so that would take you 40, which again is not a bad shout though. But I mean, even just up to 10 using 130 points. But I mean,
yeah, just
where my head's at personally would be to just drop the PBC and get another squad of 3 Death Shroud, because then you can have 3 in the Land Raider, 3 not in the Land Raider, and rapid ingress. And I'd probably put the... You could even drop Deadly Pathogen of Double Order Contagion in the Death Shroud Terminators, or you can keep Deadly Pathogen and run a Sorcerer Terminator with the other one there. But I mean, I like that list a lot more. I think you're going in the right direction. Like, it's a lot more refined. So I like where it's at. Again, just because I like the fact you got Triple Blight Hauler as well in the Bloat Drone, because I was a bit worried when I saw Defiler, Land Raider, and Morty, because they're very expensive units. But everything else is kind of MSU. Like, you got 3-man Death Shroud instead of 6-man, so it kind of balances out in that way. So yeah, I like this a lot more. I think that's just the one change I'd make, is just turn this Plague Burst Call into something else. Whether that's another squad of Death Shroud and character, or if it's just more scoring stuff and screening stuff like Dave said. And I think that'll instantly get a lot better there, Aura. But it's a lot better than your first list up here, I can say that for sure. So you're definitely
100%.
You're on the right track, definitely like learning what's working, what's doing well. So that's really good to see, man. Don Houston, thank you very much for the $7.77 super chat. Crabtacular job, gents. Thank you very much. King Crab himself.
He is
the king of the Defilers. And then the last one we got to look at is going to be Jacob, Virginia. Third from the start. Do you mean like start as in like all the way up, or like third down here? Please mean down here.
Please mean.
1, 2. Is this one? That's Gareth T. Where are you at?
What's your list?
Can you find it? Oh, there you go. Got it.
Okay.
It's Flyblown Host.
Yay, nice.
Cool.
Thanks. Thank you guys for submitting some Flyblown hosts into this as well.
It is cool to see and sort of chat about that, which is quite nice. It gives us a bit of fresh. So we've got I'd go to 9 Dash Shot Tournaments if I had them. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Like I said, 6 in that list would be pretty good. So don't worry too much. So the Fly 2, Jeff Goldblum's Revenge, no enhancements. 1 Biology Putrefire, Malignant Playcaster,
Huge Jeff Goldblum fan.
Tallyman, Typhus, 2 Sorcerer and Terminator Armors, 7 Plague Marines with a mixture of shooting and melee and a Rhino. I still do think Rhinos are necessary in Flyblown Host. -1 to hit will not keep your Plague Marines alive.
Yeah.
The only reason I would ever run Plague Marines without a Rhino is if you take the Plague Veil and you know their job is to just sit on the natural objective. That is literally it.
Yeah, you might have seen that in my game on VT that I didn't scout them out because I was like, obviously we ended up getting our Primarchs, which just changed everything up. But like, I wasn't going to stick them out and then let Steve just move his bikes into a firing line and just obliterate them.
Yeah.
So there was no way I was using them to chuck out to a point and just be like, oh great, they're all dead.
Yeah. So and once again we're sort of looking at the so we've got, I'm going to guess it's going to be a Balance Street Fight and the Noxious Blightbringer in the Squad of Plague Marines, which I don't mind. I like the little tech that you can use. Also, thank you very much for becoming a member, Scotch Egg 666.
Scotch Egg.
And there was also someone before. Sorry, I didn't miss it. Monk. Thank you as well for becoming a Plague Marine. Thank you very much.
The devil's own Scotch Egg.
Indeed. Check out the community tab on our YouTube channel to find the Discord links you can join.
Thank you very much for joining.
And your fellow members. So once again, we've got a Beast of Nurgle here, Dave, and I think I'm once again in the mindset of you that Beast of Nurgle instantly turned into that 60 Poxwalkers because we've got 50 at the moment. They're just so much better, and the thing is, because you've got 3 solo demon engines here, and you've still got a Rhino as well, because Rhinos are great for doing actions, I don't think you need the Beast of Nurgle. I think you'll be okay without it. You also got 2 squads of Nurglings there. I've been getting away with 1.
Yeah, I'm still thinking 1 still works.
Or you could do 1 of 6, because it's actually 10 points cheaper than 2 of 3. So if you are committing to 6 Nurglings, just take them as 1 big squad. Which is quite nice. Things that go bomb. The reason it works in Flyblown Host is the stratagem in the fight phase where your opponent must take a battle shock test at -1. With him around, it's -3, and it means that you can stop your opponent scoring, stop them flipping primary, loads of different uses for it. It's genuinely only really good in Flyblown, but when you get into a good position, it is very good.
And as I talked about in the overview on Vanguard Tactics as well, I genuinely think that in your preamble at the start of the game, if you tell your opponent exactly what Aiden just said, that this unit here, if it's on a point and you come near it, and I pop this strat and I make you take a battle shock test at -3, even if you kill my unit afterwards, you're not going to hold that. You can't do an action, or I think most times people are just going to go, I'm not going to bother, because 80% of things in the game fail on a -3.
It's true. What you can actually do here, Dave, I just realised. Beast of Nurgle gets cut, that's 65 points.
65 points, yeah.
65. Combine the Nurglings to get 10 points there. That's 75 points.
75.
50 points to up the Poxwalkers for the third 20, yeah? And then use the 25 points to put the Plague Veil either on the solo Taliban to hold home to avoid indirect, or put it onto the Noxious Blightbringer squad in the 7-man to just keep them alive on that natural objective.
That's a good idea. But I think the core of the Foxes, the Death Shroud, the Cultists, and yeah, I think that makes sense. A couple of Mephitic Blightholders to give you the option to dish out the -1 to wound, Taliban to generate CP, because like I said, this host is a bit more CP hungry. Yeah, I think, my other question would be, so there is
a Rhino, yeah.
So 7 man in a Rhino. Okay, yeah, all right. What's going with the Marines? Is it going to be the Tallyman and the Biologists?
I think it's the
Biologist. Is it the
Blightbringer
Blightbringer and the... Yeah, okay, fine. So Tallyman's going to be sat probably on the home.
Yeah, that's why I'm maybe considering the enhancement, because...
Yeah, because he's got to be on the table to generate your CP, and the only place to put him is miles away from everything.
Yeah, so very quickly, Jacob, when I mean natural objective, let's just very quickly... So say you've got a square, so just imagine a square out of your picture. Say it's quarter deployments, it's the one you can safest get to, and like the one you're kind of expected to hold. That's what I mean by your natural. Because in every deployment there's kind of like one that's more like defensible for you, and there's one that's more defensible for your opponent, and there's the single one in the center which is more contested. So that's what I mean by natural. It's the one that's more easily accessible and defensive for you. Honestly, things that go bomb, it doesn't have a game plan like that Flyblown. It's very much more reactive. The one you're looking to use all the time is the 6-inch pile and consolidate. Everything else is really situational. Don't think of it like when you should do stuff. More look for opportunities to use something and think how much is it going to be worth. The 6-inch pile and consolidate is the one that you always want to look for opportunities, though. Everything else is just when it happens.
Agreed. There are a couple other interesting ones in there, but keeping stuff alive with the -1 to wound is potentially the other one that's interesting, and just getting movement with this is the thing. Like you can, even Poxwalkers can base go 9 inches from a scout and a base move. If you average it, you're going to roll a 3 or a 4 on top of that. Then you're into a 12, 13-inch move with Poxwalkers turn 1. So kind of you can look to really push in, like Aiden said, push the flanks with this move. If your opponent puts something out to like an infiltrating unit that's 9 inches away from you, and then you scout, kind of, so you're staying just outside of that 9 inch, and then you move. You've actually then got an easy charge into a unit as well, potentially, to then pick something up if you get no prisoners turn 1 or storm hostile objective if they're touching onto it. And then you can even use a strat to kind of bounce back behind a wall to then consolidate back onto a point. Because you've got to remember with this one, you also need to hold the points so we don't sticky them.
Yeah. And things that go bomb, keep your eye on the channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button because I've got a couple of Flyblown videos coming up. So if you're trying to learn it, it'll definitely be useful for you to learn. But yeah, I'd probably, the last thing, Jacob, Virginia, is like, as you just asked then, how do you feel about the drone? Should it just be a hauler? Honestly, probably. The only reason I say that is because fetid bloat drones actually kind of suck when you don't have like the ability to increase their AP. Flamers are AP1, the Flesh Mower's AP1, the Blight Launcher's decent. So actually, if he's Flight Launcher, I'm fine with that.
It's pretty good, yeah.
The haulers scare people more than they should because you're like, oh, it's a multi-melter, it's AP4 and it gets +1 to wound versus vehicles, so people respect them more than they should. But also, it just has the natural synergy with the list. So it's like, if one gets blown up on the side that's being contested, you have a backup one to keep doing the -1 to wound strategy. It just has more natural synergy with this detachment. So I probably would put that to a third flight. I'm running 3 in my Flyblown list. But yeah, I think
I found it useful as well. I think the fact that I was able to, with the 10-inch move, and get it onto a point and have it there early, and know that what I'm going to do next turn is then drop some Terminators right next to it to continue distracting my opponent from what that thing's sitting there doing, is a nice thing. Plus, like you said, the 3 options to give yourself -1 in different places, and if you need to start shooting with it, it can. It's still got a 5 up. It's got a fast move. The base size is a little bit annoying, and you need to get used to playing with it. Compared to a drone, which is definitely a lot easier to wiggle stuff around. But they're in a Flyblown list, I think they're definitely stand out versus drones.
Music Drive, do you commit to going forwards if you go second or do you scout backwards? It's really a question of how much shooting your opponent got, honestly, and what angles can they get to. If they can get to good angles and they've got lots of shooting firepower, just scout safely. You deploy dumb, and then make sure your scouts have your ass covered if stuff goes wrong, and then capitalize it if you go first. The detachment's more powerful if you go first.
Make sure you can jump. Make sure you can fit everything. You can jump back behind a wall if you have to. If there's big guns, basically.
Yeah, but again, if it's like, okay, this single predator can see my death shroud, you can probably take that aggressive scout. I mean, it didn't work for me, but I got very unlucky on my rolls. Plus, there was a Mortarian, so he ignored all my minuses. So it is. You don't really do it, Epsilon. You don't really deal with tanks and knights. You kind of just tag them, keep them in combat, take objectives. This list wins through points, not through damage, 100%. Yeah. But it is fun. It's a very different way to play, and you might try it. It might not be for you. I thought it wouldn't be for me. I'm kind of weirdly coming around to it because it's kind of masochistic to put an opponent in Poxwalker jail, and it's funny as fuck.
It's also quite. It's a bit more. It's even more toolboxy, I think, than Play Company is for you, because you have to use every unit separately and with its own abilities and make it do its own action. It's got to have a purpose. Yeah. You're not just kind of wiping stuff off the board.
Yeah. -1 save, die.
Yeah. So I can actually see you picking out because the way you like to play, I can see you doing the there's -3 OC there, and I'm going to have this 5-man that's going to have extra OC on this point. I'm going to flip that objective. I'm going to have the fast movement to get to here, and actually I'm going to make this. I can. That's just, I see the cogs in your brain working with this. Really, I can see you pulling it apart and doing playing it that way.
Yeah, it's very fun. It's very different. But I think that's all we've got probably time for tonight, because we've already been for an hour or so. But we'll try to make sure we do another one soon, and hopefully we've got everyone that is in chats had a quick look at tonight, which is quite nice. If not, we'll definitely make sure to prioritise you next time. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it here. Oh god, there's bloody one here. Get away the live one.
Well, I'm just going to answer Jacob's question, put one last question. Are cultists even needed? They can be, because you might find in certain layouts that 5-inch scout move doesn't get you onto an objective. And actually a 6-inch does. So just have a look at your maps and check out what the layouts look like and how far things are. They can still be useful. And remember, they're still -1 to hit.
Yeah, they are. And if you don't need them, then you can maybe turn them into like, I don't know, someone like maybe an icon bearer. I don't know. If you, tentacle is 50 points. It can do actions. I'm happy enough with that, honestly. Regardless of whether I need to scout what, it's no time for my Horus Heresy list. You actually put Horus. Oh gee, I don't even know what the hell it does, man.
I will absolutely happily critique this for you, but I promise you it will be no help whatsoever.
Okay, we'll start with this one next time as a joke. It is Iron Warriors, so you get bonuses for that. I'm just gonna. It's very good, Strongboy. It's very good. There you go. I know Heresy. It's very good. Yeah, we're gonna go with it. I will have a fun look at it next time.
Good job.
Good job. Yeah, well done, you Strongboy. Well done. You deserve this.
I'll tell you who does get a well done, and that's Kazuma for becoming a Plague Marine. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Get on the community tab, check out the Discord, go and join in the community. Look forward to seeing you there, and you can give Strongboy some grief when you arrive.
Indeed, you can. But for now, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to head off right now. I'll leave you some music on the way out. But anything else to drop off, Dave?
No, just please do check out the video description. It helps us out if you can, if you're looking for some dice, and please jump onto Baron of Dice. The link is in there. If you want to check out Vanguard Tactics, where you can find my two most recent videos with them. Not saying, Stephen, by the way, that they are some of the most popular videos you've ever put on your channels anyway, so Death Guard is definitely what you need to do more of. You can check out Sultai Games, where you can pick up gaming aids and supports. I think they're back online, Aidan?
I believe so. I'll okay, find out.
They're back on. You can check out our friends at Element Games, where you can pick up models and kit, and that does generate a little bit of kickback to the channel. But just most importantly, like, comment, subscribe, join and become Plague Marines. Get on the Discord, take part in our community, and help Death Guard keep moving forwards.
Excellent. Well, couldn't have said it better myself, mate. And yeah, we will obviously be back soon enough. We'll probably get another stream or two in before the Christmas break, so it's not the last time we'll be seeing you for a bit, so do not worry too much. And yeah, until then, guys, stay on, take care, we'll catch you all on the next one. See you later, guys.
The blackened sky we rise, wings of death, clouds of light. The crag will burn, the pure will fall. Mortarian's wrath will consume them all. Ultimately pride crumbled in the dust. Your emperor's light can't stop the rust. Disease and rot are your final breath. Now kneel before the reaper's death. I am the plague, I am the rot. The end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies. Now your shiny world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warriors choke on poisoned air. My cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarian's blade, watch its glory dies. The reaper falls to a runner's sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. Blue and gold, once proud, once bright, now swallowed whole by endless night. I am decay, and I will feast. Your chapter falls beneath my feet. Gleaming suns will face my wrath. In every breath, your lungs turn black. Your noble hearts are turned to ash in my shadow. Your hopes will crack. I am the plague, I am the rot. The end of all that you forgot. You fought for hope, you fought for lies. Now your shining world slowly dies. From the skies I bring despair. Your warriors choke on poisoned air. The cracking flames, hear the cries. Mortarian's blade, watch its glory dies. The angel falls to a runner's sword. In death your soldiers are reborn. There's no salvation, no last stand. My crown is buried by my hand. My crag was the jewel of the stars. Now lies broken, tainted with my scars. I am your doom, your final breath. Mortarian comes, delivering death. From the shadow depths of a broken hive, corpses twitch and come alive. This crimson plague, it feeds on fear as the bodies drop and it draws us near. Our skin is crawling, something's inside, internal organs liquefied. Death God's gift, a twisted fate, no escape for me, yeah, it's too late. No goal comes except your fate. It won't stop, the hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Let the rod, let the rod. Walking pox now takes its bite. Lungs are burning, pox fills the air. You scream for help, but no one cares. Bones are breaking, bodies swift. The Death Guard's gift, death's toxic kiss. Pale eyes stare with a hollow glare. They're gone but shambling, lost somewhere. This hive is his, disease and bloom. No light survives in this darkened tomb. Then no comes except your fate. It won't stop, the hive's infected, it's too late. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume when it's sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. You feel it settle deep inside. There's no cure, nowhere to hide. You breathe me in, you can't escape. I am the plague, I am your fate. What can you feel it in your bones? This is where it now goes home. No mercy here, you're out of time. Your final breath is that last line. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive was consumed by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. From the skies we come to claim our prize. A world infected before your eyes. We are the rod, we are the end. The Death God's mercy is death again. Watch it all decay, falling to your knees. The hive will consume by the sick disease. Our souls corrupted, can't run, can't fight. The walking pox now takes its bite. The walking pox now takes its bite. Through the haze of rock, they rise to the fight. Growing machines born of plague's delight. Steel fused with flesh, corrupted and vile. Rolling forth in Nurgle's blessed style. Their engines scream like a tortured choir. Belching smoke in unholy fire. The battlefield's alive with rust and disease. A symphony of death in the toxic breeze. The ground quake, hear the engines roar. A deathless tide from the warp's dark core. The battlefield's alive with rust and disease. A symphony of death in the toxic breeze. Feel the ground quake, hear the engines roar. A deathless tide from the warp's dark core. Engines of decay rolling through the rage as the end has begun. Cursed abominations defying all life, they carve through flesh with their rusted knives. Flamers, crawlers grind the earth below, spewing bile where the dead trees grow. The grotesque forms applied upon man, warm forged horrors in the grandfather's plan. Feel the ground quake, hear the engines roar, a deathless tide from the warp's dark car. Engines of decay rolling through the fray, spreading death and despair with every day. Twisted machines, nightmares untamed, the demon engines burning Knuckles' name. Engines of decay, hear the blade bells toll, in the shadow of despair they take your soul. Unclean, a grotesque fusion of man and machine. Blessed by Nurgle, they thrive on disease, bringing the galaxy down to its knees. The gears grind, the pistons scream, a putrid force that shatters dreams. No mercy here, only decay. The demon engines pave Nurgle's way. Death and despair with every day. Twisted machines, nightmares untamed, the demon engines burning Knuckles' name. Engines of decay, hear the blade bells toll, in the shadow of despair they take your soul. Rust and ruin mark their unholy tread, machines of Nurgle, the bringers of dread. The skies are dark, the fields are gray, hell the Death Guard's engines of decay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The Death Guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin and pestilence flows, with every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The Death Guard comes, none can stay. From the depths of rot and decay they rise. The Death Guard marches under sickened skies. With boils and blight they spread the pain. In Nurgle's name disease will reign. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows, with every breath the plague wind blows. Embrace the rot, let flesh decay. The Death Guard comes, none can stay. Armored and filled with rusted blades, they laugh as cities wilt and fade. Where they tread, no life remains, just hollow corpses, plague remains. Beneath the helm, cursed grin, for in death they shall begin. Rot and ruin, pestilence flows, with every breath the plague wind blows.